This is a snail shell that Chris and I found up in the northwest of Western Australia. It's a beautiful shell, but it's very, very bland in colour, and I was just wondering what it would look like if I carved it out of wood. With the grain in it, it might be very, very interesting. So I'm going to try and duplicate this shell, maybe slightly larger, in some local wood. So the first thing I'm going to do is try to create a flat spot on this piece of wood that would represent the surface on the bottom of this, which will be flat. And then once I've got a nice flat spot on it, I will mark out in each side the profile of the rough profile of the shell, and then we'll get into it. Of course, the best way to get a flat surface is using the leveling guide and the Arbortech turbo plane. So that'll allow me to get a nice, perfectly flat surface. Right, I found I could just use the shadow to trace this profile on. So here's. I just want to talk now about the turbo scraper that I've been using. I've always been pushing it as a finishing tool, but I'm doing a job here now carving this seashell. I've really found it to be a go-to tool. I started with the turbo plane, but I'm finding the amount of control that I get with this particular tool, I find that I use it much more. It's more than a finishing tool, it's a shaping tool as well. But because it's so steady, because it's so clear, because the visibility is so incredible, you can see through the blade, I'm using it much more than I expected for actual shaping, because being able to controllably get to the shape that you want is actually faster than removing lots of wood fast and then having to correct it. Well, I've just come back from the Mullaney show, Mullaney Wood Expo, and I think I can say without hesitation, this is probably the best wood show in the entire planet. We've at Arbortech have attended shows all over the world, and the one up in Queensland in the Glasshouse Mountains, this has got to be the best wood show in the world. It is fully supported by the local community. They're concerned about wood, the environment, the arts, and there's plenty of music and woodwork there. It's just sensational. I just love that show, and I've come back with that. Come back from that show really keen to get stuck into some work. So here is the shell that I'm roughly duplicating. I'm purposely making it a little bit bigger and changing it a little bit, but that's basically what I'm wanting to mimic. Here I'm lifting the grain, but even though I'm lifting the grain, I get a beautiful smooth finish. And so I'm able to just move gently into the shape that I want without fear of overcutting. It shapes the wood beautifully, leaving a perfect finish. And it doesn't matter whether I'm going up the grain or down the grain.